Carousel on Sporting Icons.
Okay, so why is Conor Benn reluctant to face the British Boxing Board of Control? Now, he says that he doesn't trust them. There seems to be some kind of vendetta against him and all that kind of stuff. Quite why he thinks that, I don't know. I mean, he's pointing towards his father ripping up his TV licence 20, 30 years ago, whenever it was, on TV. I mean, that would be a long, long time for the British Boxing Board of Control to hold a grudge and then take it out on his son. If they're going to take it out on him, they'd have probably done it already, wouldn't they? Surely. But for him to not face the British Boxing Board of Control, well, there could be a couple of reasons for that. Number one, if he does face the British Boxing Board of Control, and this 270-page dossier report is not as convincing as Conor Benn is stating, and he ends up receiving a ban, then he's not going to be able to fight abroad, is he? Now, of course, there's talks about Manny Pacquiao and whatever else. Because if he receives a ban from the British Boxing Board of Control, then there's a very real chance that the other commissions globally will also not allow him to box in their territory, in their country. So if you don't face the British Boxing Board of Control, then you're not going to get a ban, in which case the other commissioners will go, well, he's not banned, so therefore he can fight. There's that way to look at it. You can look at it the other way as well, that he is suing the British Boxing Board of Control, so therefore, as Spencer Fearon rightly pointed out, why give them that 270-page report when, if you're suing them, then you're giving them the ammunition that Conor Benn's going to use against them. So you could look at it and say, well, if you're Conor Benn, if you're suing them for allegedly £3.5 million, which, by the way, hopefully the British Boxing Board of Control have got some kind of insurance. Well, hopefully not, actually. But because they can't sustain that kind of damage, if they don't have any kind of insurance for that, what do you call it, liability insurance, whatever, and they end up having to stump out a £3.5 million fine to Conor Benn after losing the case, and that's pretty much the end of the British Boxing Board of Control, isn't it? It is. So, as Spencer Fearon quite rightly pointed out, why give them the ammunition? Why not maybe sue the British Boxing Board of Control, get that money, and if the British Boxing Board of Control are still going to be active, then after you beat them, go, right, now give me my licence. You've lost a case, now you have to give me your licence. And they can't say no. They can't hold a personal grudge. So Conor Benn could get paid £3.5 million from the British Boxing Board of Control, clear his name as far as the world is concerned, and get his licence back. Because if he does just hand over this 270-page document, and the British Boxing Board of Control, they go through it, and they go, you know what, this is pretty good. I think he's justified it here. Okay, here's your licence back. Well, a couple of things could happen on that. One, people may look at it and go, well, the British Boxing Board of Control, they're always going to clear him because they're not going to go against the WBC or this, that, and the other. Okay, they're spineless, they're worried about getting fined, all that kind of good stuff. So, therefore, give me his licence back. That's what a lot of people will say. But at the same time, maybe Conor Benn's bluffing them. Maybe he's threatening to sue them. Maybe he didn't even start the ball rolling. So the British Boxing Board of Control go, quack, quack, here's your licence back, without even investigating it. Now, if you look at the UCAD rules, again, it's pretty much UCAD who hand out the bans, as far as I'm aware. Now, if you look on their banned substance list and potential outcomes, if they take certain substances, the one that Conor Benn took, it gives an example of, say, a rugby player took it. They get a 4-year ban. So when Conor Benn says, well, I could have just took like a little 6-month ban and I'll be over it now and blah, 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 that would be the easy way. Well, I'm not too sure you would have got a 6-month ban. You'd have got a 4-year ban for this particular substance. Because if in this report it's proven that accidentally or whatever, that this substance got into Conor Benn's system through food, as Conor Benn did say on the Piers Morgan show, if it's contaminated and it could be through food, then that means that you have ingested something. Therefore, it's your responsibility. So therefore, the board can ban you just on that. So maybe that probably explains why Conor Benn is upset with the WBC because they mentioned eggs when Conor Benn didn't mention eggs in that report, but WBC did. Because if it's eggs, then the British Boxing Board of Control will ban him. Because he took these eggs. He ate these eggs. Whether they had something in them or not, okay? If that's the excuse, if that's the route that they're going down, the British Boxing Board of Control will ban him. Because it's your fault that you ate these eggs. It's your fault that you didn't look at the potential supplements in it or however. And where did you get these eggs from? Especially as here in the UK, so I hear, this particular substance that was found in Conor Benn's system is banned in the UK. It's not, you won't find it in British eggs. So maybe he's been getting them imported. How would I know? Okay. But there's so many different reasons as to why potentially he's not going to hand over that 270-page report. Because if he does, and it proves that maybe it could have been some contamination within food or drink or anything like that, then he's getting a ban. A 4-year ban. If it's a case of, well, I'll say it's definitely going to be a 4-year ban. I mean, you never know, okay? Yeah, you know, this is UCAD, it's British Boxing Board of Control. They could do it to 6 months, but it's likely to be 4 years, okay? So there's that risk. Also, if he's going to sue them, why give them the ammunition in advance as to what he's going to sue them with? Again, you wouldn't do it. Also, why risk facing the British Boxing Board of Control, risk getting a ban, therefore you can't fight abroad because the other commissions are less likely to sanction you. Best thing to do is not face the board, so therefore you're not going to get banned, therefore you can fight in abroad countries because you can say to them, well, I'm not banned. So there's quite a few different ways of looking at it. Should Conor Benn be fighting abroad? Should he be fighting Manny Pacquiao? Should he be fighting anybody abroad? In my opinion, no, he shouldn't be. Eddie Hearn shouldn't be putting that kind of fight on. While there's a grey cloud, and while it's not cleared up, he shouldn't be fighting. And ultimately, that will add to his ammunition if he is suing the British Boxing Board of Control. I do feel that potentially he's threatening them just so they cave in, because they are pretty weak. So, anyway, we'll have to wait and see what happens. Is he going to face the board? Is he going to go through with suing them, no matter what the British Boxing Board of Control say? I know Eddie Hearn says he's trying to bridge the gap. Of course he is, because he's got other fighters and he's got his own licence, British Boxing Board of Control, all that kind of stuff, even though officially he's not the one suing them. But still, you're representing Conor Benn. Of course, it's in Eddie Hearn's best interest to make peace with the British Boxing Board of Control, unless, of course, they all hand in their licence, everybody, and walk away from the British Boxing Board of Control, start up a new board, maybe go with Bieber or whatever. Either way, I think a reckoning may be coming for the British Boxing Board of Control. If not, then maybe for Conor Benn. Anyway, that's my thoughts. You drop me yours. Click thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll catch you all on the next video.